Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, January 18, 2022. $1 billion has been allocated to the Ministry of National Security to purchase motorbikes and other items for the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. The money has been provided in the second supplementary estimates for the 2021-22 fiscal year. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke says adequate funding for the Security Ministry and the police remain a strategic priority for the government.
The police represent the backbone of Jamaica's domestic security. They are the vanguards who are on the front lines of a very difficult challenge. And notwithstanding positions on historical matters that may vary, the police have the absolute and unequivocal support of the government of Jamaica.
Dr. Clarke was contributing to the debate on the second supplementary estimates recently. According to Minister Clarke, the money will also go towards the purchase of armored vests, technology devices, furniture, equipment, and land for the divisional headquarters of the St. Catherine Police Division. In addition, a portion of the funds will be used for the acquisition of the coastal grid radar power supply for the Jamaica Defense Force. Jamaica has taken another step to further strengthen its compliance with international obligations and practices in its stance against money laundering. Last Tuesday, the House of Representatives approved the Proceeds of Crime Designated Non-Financial Institution, Trust and Corporate Services Providers Order 2022. The order provides for the designation of trust and corporate services providers as non-financial institutions. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang piloted the order.
Essentially, the designation of trust and corporate service providers will apply to any person or entity providing 1. A trust service, or 2. A corporate service. It will allow these entities to fall within the regulated sector as provided by the Act. This designation is subject to the definition for trust services and corporate service as provided for in the Trust and Corporate Services Provisions Act.
Recommendation 24 of the order makes it a requirement for countries to ensure that this class of business is subject to effective systems of monitoring and is compliant with anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing measures.
The designation of trust and corporate services providers as designated non-financial institution will strengthen Jamaica's anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism, that is the AML CFT regime.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has expressed full confidence in the ability of National Security Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang to perform his duties in the administration. Mr. Holness was responding to questions posed by journalists at a press conference Sunday. There have been reports that the national security portfolio is not being handled properly as the island ended 2021 with a 10% increase in murders over 2020. Calls for a reassignment of duties have since grown louder with the recent reshuffling of the cabinet, which saw Dr. Chang retaining the national security portfolio. But in defending his decision, Prime Minister Holness says the ministry is the most difficult portfolio and requires a long-term commitment to the plans in place.
We are not going to change the current situation through a flip of a switch. The problems are deep-rooted, and they require significant structural, institutional, cultural, and resource reform. These take time, particularly the legislative, particularly the policy, and the structure. I have full confidence in Minister Chang, in his knowledge, in his competence, and in his heart, which is to ensure that every single Jamaican is safe.
Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says the ministry is closely monitoring and putting the necessary measures in place to address the number of medical staff affected by the rapid spread of COVID-19. The country is now experiencing a fourth wave of transmission of the virus.
We're monitoring that situation. It does lead and would lead to some slowdown in some areas, so we ask persons to be patient. But if our frontline persons are affected, we have to protect them. We have to get them to recover so that they can go back on the front line. And so we are observing that situation closely, and if there is an extraordinary circumstance, I'm sure the local management will make the adjustment as necessary.
Dr. Tufton was speaking at a recent press briefing by the ministry. The health minister says the sector has been affected by absenteeism across regional health authorities, including clinical, clerical, and administrative staff who have to be placed in quarantine and isolation. Outpatient clinics and elective surgeries are affected as a result. And finally, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, the EOJ, has revised the processing time for requests for letters of identity. The head office on Duke Street is now offering a next-day service, while constituency offices will have requests ready within 2 to 3 business days. This is in response to the high volume of persons requesting letters of identity as they await the renewal of their voter identification cards. Public Education Officer at the EOJ, Dania Harper, says the change was made to reduce the wait time at locations and to implement crowd control measures.
So whereas persons used to make the request and then wait to collect the letter, now they simply make the request and they come and collect it the next day, and we process these groups of persons separately. So those who are coming to make the requests are processed separately from those who are coming to make their collection of the letters.
Ms. Harper was speaking on Friday at a JIS think tank. She says while the letters were usually addressed specifically to an institution, until an individual's card has been replaced, the current letters are open for multiple uses and contain multiple security features. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.